Hello. I'm back, as you can obviously guess. And if you look hard enough, if you really stare, you might be able to perhaps detect a slight faint tan. So one can only assume that Tyler has made it all the way around Europe, has come back to London, and has survived without being, that's a rabbit, without being murdered. I'm going to talk about Europe, of course, absolutely. But I couldn't really go without talking about the riots around the UK. And it's an over-talked issue, so I'm not going to bang on about it. But what I really wanted to quickly say was that I think it challenges my liberal ideals because there's all my liberal people on Twitter saying, oh, but you have to look at the real causes behind the riots. The reason they're doing it is because they're poor. And I think saying it's because they're poor completely takes away from the people that are poor, I hate that word, and don't feel the need to go around rioting and destroying people's livelihood. But I don't feel that you should be breaking apart and destroying tiny little independent businesses like the 150-year-old family furniture shop in Croydon. I don't think that's cool at all. Well, I don't think stealing per se is cool, but if you're going to steal from a multinational company. So that's all I'll say. I'll also say that I don't necessarily think that most people that were rioting were poor, because last time I checked, poor people couldn't afford Blackberries, and apparently that's how most of these riots were organised. So that's my logic anyway. But that's all I'm going to say on the riots. I could rant on for hours and hours. If you have any questions about them and my views, ask me on Formspring. What I will talk about is Europe. I travelled all around Europe, and as you may have guessed, I went to Brussels. I got there on the Eurostar. Then I went over to Amsterdam. Then I went to Berlin. Then I went to Dresden, Munich, Florence, Milan, Nice, Monaco, Cannes, Marseille, and then I finished in Barcelona. And I don't really know what to say, because I've come back now and I genuinely had the most amazing experience of my life. But I don't really want to be one of those people that talk about their travels, oh, in my gap year or when I went travelling, and have a story about everything. What I will say is travelling, the thing I found that is my confidence, which was boosted incredibly at university. People always say they find me really, really confident. I'm really quite a shy person inwardly, and that used to be said on my school reports when I was little. But over the years, I kind of developed a mask, so I look really confident, but inside I'm still shy Tyler, who is very, very socially awkward. But I found university completely boosted my confidence, and I found that travelling around Europe and having to talk and force myself to talk to complete strangers every single night and make some awesome friends absolutely naturally has boosted my confidence even more. So I'm on a complete high and looking forward to starting September at uni. I'm not going to bang on about Europe. I think it's too cliche to talk about. And people always say they want to hear about stuff, but you don't really. You get bored of someone talking after a while, which is why I only keep these YouTube videos to 3 minutes long. Any of you guys that are quite into YouTube may know that this weekend is Summer in the City 2011. It's where all the YouTubers gather in the park, in Regent's Park I think it is, and say hello. For the last 2 years I've escaped it because I've been so busy. This year I should not be there. I've accidentally agreed to do 3 things with 3 different people on this coming Saturday. I've agreed to go to Summer in the City and absolutely see my wonderful friend Jossie, who's Akio Jellybean on YouTube, and I can't wait for that. I'm super excited. So that is my #1 priority. But I've also agreed to meet another friend who's a very, very dear friend and is coming to London for a meal. And I've also set up a rendezvous, shall we say, with a certain person who I'm also wanting to keep. So I'm going to try and do 3 things in one day, which is going to be insane, but I don't want to let anyone down. I've established I'm too nice a person. I can't say no to things, and if I have agreed to something, I can't back out of it because I feel too bad. So I get myself into situations like this where I'm doing 3 things in one day with 3 different people. Also, I've noticed I can't really ask for what I want. I'm too polite. If someone says, do you want a cup of tea? I'll say no, just because I don't want them to go to the effort of making it. I'm chronically polite. It's probably terribly, terribly British. And I did find out whilst I was travelling that I am horribly stereotypically British. Probably the most stereotypical thing I did was bringing tea bags with me, Earl Grey tea, because I was worried Europe might not have it. I will probably do a Europe video. If you want a Europe video, let me know and I'll post some pictures and stuff. But I can understand if you don't because it's boring. Hope you're well, and hopefully if you're at Summer in the City 2011 this coming Saturday, let me know and I shall see you there. In the meantime, take care, and I was about to say love you lots. I always say that because I'm on the phone a lot. Oh, I've just opened the webcam and seen how rough Tyler looks today. Jolly good.